addressing his team, getting ready for a great rivalry in the Mountain West.
Give of yourself. Give it up for your teammate. Give it up to honor your family. Give it up to honor those that are closest to you. Give it up tonight. Go play like a team that loves one another. You go do that, I'll take whatever happens. Let's go get after their ass.
Biggest little city in the world and a big rivalry in the Mountain West. And here come the Wolfpack. Boise State and Nevada. The Wolfpack at 3-1, the Broncos at 3-2. Mackey Stadium's 300th game, and of course, it is sold out. In the Mountain West, this weekend, the biggest game was Utah State's takedown of number 18 BYU, and now the attention is turned to Nevada and Boise State. Hi everybody, Rich Waltz along with Adam Archuleta. Welcome to Reno. Now across the country this is not known as a big rivalry, but if you ask the two schools it is. I mean, they've got great history of high-stake football with incredible finishes and a healthy dislike for each other.
Well, that's what it takes. That's what a big-time rivalry is. And both of these teams have played great football so far in the Mountain West, in a great position to be right there at the end of the Mountain West standings. A win tonight would be a great springboard for the rest of their season.
Boise State took a hit last week, though, at Air Force. They've had issues with turnovers. Grant Hedrick, their quarterback, did not have a good game.
Not at all, and it was an awful game. I think he knows that, and everybody knows that. His second four-pick game of the season, where he was benched in favor of Ryan Finley. But I think if you take a step back and you look at his body of work since he's taken over as the starting quarterback here, he is more than capable of leading that high-powered offense that Boise State fans are accustomed to seeing. He's got great efficiency, he's got great accuracy, and like a lot of the great modern college football quarterbacks, that unique ability to use his legs if you fail to account for him in the quarterback run game.
All right, you want body of work? I'll give you body of work. Let's talk about Nevada. They're 3-1. That one loss is looking better by the minute. It was to 5-0 Arizona, and it was on the road and only by 7 points. Now, last week, though, they had to use their defense, and it's a very good defense. Brock Hecking is kind of the guy that makes it go.
Well, and he is everything that Brian Polian and Scott Boone, the defensive coordinator, want in their defensive players. He has that insatiable thirst to play snap to whistle, that effort and intensity that is infectious to his teammates. And don't look at his sack numbers. He only has 1.5 sacks so far this season. But if you don't have an answer for him and you're just going to play one-on-one football, well, number 53 is going to have a party in your backfield for an entire football game.
Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. Both coaches talked about it all week long. Cassie Gallo, both coaches feel it's very important.
Yeah, guys, one thing the Wolfpack defense does well is capitalize on turnovers. Their margin is 8th in the country, and it's been big problems for Boise State. The Broncos have not been consistent in taking care of the ball, and not surprisingly, it's cost them. In their 3 wins, they gave up 2 total turnovers, but in the 2 losses, 11 turnovers. 7 came last week, including those 4 interceptions. That's why tonight, all eyes will be on quarterback Grant Hedrick, and if he can bounce back against that Nevada defense on the prowl.
There's a look at Boise State's first-year head coach, Brian Harsin, but no stranger to the program. He was a quarterback just like Grant Hedrick is. Hedrick, the senior, Harsin quarterbacked. His offensive coordinator, Mike Sanford, also a Boise State quarterback, of course, taking over for Chris Peterson, who took over for Dan Hawkins. Just a terrific run by Boise State. And the Broncos will get the football to open this ball game. Mackey Stadium, there's Cody Fajardo. And of course, we just heard Brian Polian inside the Wolfpack locker room.
So a very emotional night, and it always seems to be when Boise State and Nevada face off. It's been lopsided, one-sided for Boise State. The Broncos have won 13 of the last 14, but that one loss, maybe the biggest loss in Boise State history back in 2010. And a big play and a loose ball. Boise State will hang on to it. Starting lineups brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Let's start with a quarterback. And let's start with Grant Hedrick. How does he bounce back?
Well, what he has to do is he has to completely erase what happened last week. He's got to trust his instincts. He's got to trust his coaching, and he has to let it rip. If he comes into this game and is hesitant, well, then they're not going to be able to move that ball. He's got to grip it. He's got to rip it. He's got to play loose, and he should have a winning formula for success.
Very, very good in the 3 wins. Not so much in the 2 losses. First and 10, Boise State, their own 16. On the ground, Jay Ajayi, and he is stuffed at the 17. Ajayi, one of the more explosive players in the Mountain West Conference. Offensively, look to the outside, the little man, Shane Williams-Rhodes.
Well, this production for the offense has been through their 2 wide receivers. Matt Miller is out. Williams-Rhodes figures to be a big part of this game plan.
Ajayi again, right side, and again he is smacked and knocked out of bounds. Charles Garrett from his cornerback spot up to make the hit. It's a Nevada defense that gives up yards, but not points. And the officials right now conferring over on the far sideline. Brian Polian wants to know.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, defense, number 9. That's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. That's number 9's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Matthew Lyons, the junior linebacker.
Well, you can see early, they're excited. They just went out there, made a big play. Charles Garrett at the corner, making a big stick on Jay Ajayi. And you're going to see number 9 at the very end of the play. Come in there, he's going to stand up over him, and that's where they get the personal foul and the taunting. Can't do that. Don't let your emotions in a big game like this get carried away in the first series.
Polian told us that yesterday. They have to play between the whistles, not after the whistles. On first and 10, Hedrick's throw tipped and incomplete. And that has to put a lump in the throat of Brian Harsin. A hand on a ball, and a ball nearly picked off. And if someone's going to be around the ball, as you look at the Nevada defense, it's Nigel Hakens.
He has played brilliantly. One of the best performances early in this season. And it was really his pick 6 last week against the San Jose State Spartans that iced the game for the Nevada Wolfpack.
Second and 10. First possession. Shotgun for Hedrick. Ajayi again. And again, nothing going. Yards are tough to come by. Matthew Lyons, who had the penalty, makes the stop. Adam, keys to the game.
Well, let's play master of the obvious. Boise State, Cassie hit on it in the open. Ball security, it's easy. Defense, got to hold up on the outside. Your secondary has been banged up. Big wide receivers here for the Wolfpack. For the Nevada Wolfpack offense, convert on third downs defensively, make Boise State one-dimensional.
On third and 10, Hedrick scrambling, looking, throwing, man open, Burrows the catch, and he's got it inside Nevada territory, and he's out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Getting the ball down the field, important for Boise State.
Heads-up play out there for Burrows, matched up with Evan Favors. He sees Hedrick break the pocket, he breaks out his route, and Hedrick is able to connect down the sideline.
Ajayi now, a little softer over the middle, and he surges forward for about 6 yards. Boise State has moved the football this year. They are second in the Mountain West Conference in total yards. Where they've stalled is inside the red zone, and they're getting close. At the Nevada 36, 2nd and 4. Hedrick tucks it to the 30, and he slides with a first down to the 27-yard line.
Well, smart play by Hedrick. He's trying to look to his right. And as you watch the Nevada defense, they collapse that left side. You see big number 94, Lenny Jones. He gets up. Hedrick puts the ball down. Look at the move that he puts on Nigel Hakins to pick up the first down. That's where he's dangerous. His improvisation, when the play breaks down, breaking the pocket, you saw earlier on this drive, he hits his receiver down the sideline. There he picks up to the first with his legs.
Ajayi in the backfield, and he gets it. Flag down. Not Ajayi, though, to the 20, to the 15, inside the 10, and down to the 8-yard line. But the flag sits back at the 31-yard line. Durain Workman made the stop for the Wolfpack.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense. Number 70 and number 72. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
Stephen Baggett and Marcus Henry, the culpable parties. 2 personal fouls, 1 on each team.
Over here on the right side, you're going to see it. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, you see. And I don't like that call. Marcus Henry was not even engaged with the defensive end. He was climbing up to the linebacker. Feel like that's a questionable call on a post and shot.
And that's coming from a defensive lineman. Hedrick tucks it again. And he's inside the 40 down to the 38. Lions with a stop, but it's a long second down and a long way to a first down.
Yeah, this is easy. You're going to watch number 73, the left guard. Number 74, Archie Lewis. Kick out blocks. Grant Hedrick, he sees he has open space. Tries to pick up a little bit of extra yardage, but you're still sitting here 2nd and about 20. You got to make something happen downfield.
2nd and 22. Hedrick swings it out. Has a man caught there. It's McNichols getting his first taste in the tailback spot. And McNichols to the 27-yard line, and this will set up 2nd down and about 9. We saw Matt Miller, the senior, their go-to receiver, one of the all-time greats in Mountain West history. He is not playing tonight. His ankle is in a boot. 3rd down and 9. Blitz is coming. Hedrick gets it out, and it's swallowed up. Flying up, Durain Workman. Jay Ajayi made the catch. And again, this is a Nevada defense that gives up yards, but no points.
And I thought Hedrick got rid of the ball too quickly. He saw the pressure up inside, and he gets the ball out to his outlet receiver, Jay Ajayi. But it's for no gain. It's 3rd and 9. You have to be able to drive that ball downfield. No pressure. Look at your first option before you check it down. Give your offense a chance to convert.
43-yard attempt. It would equal Dan Goodale's career long, and he missed it. Pushed it wide right. Field goals in this stadium for Boise State have not come easy, and they miss one on their first possession.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. By the all-new LG G3. And by Quicken Loans, for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
Sold out Mackey Stadium. Scoreless. First possession for the Wolfpack, who come in at 3-1. And they start this at their own 26. It's an offense that did not have a good week last week against San Jose State. Cody Fajardo. Don Jackson the first carry. And Jackson may lose a yard on the carry. Chick-fil-A brings you the starting lineups. And we start with Cody Fajardo, their quarterback, a multi-talented guy.
Yeah, last week they really struggled in their passing game. They really couldn't find their timing. But 2 games ago against Arizona, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's the Fajardo that they want to see in the passing game.
In the pistol offense, and Jackson couldn't hold it. Off his hands, broken up by Correa. All right, the offense, they do run the pistol. They're very efficient. Jackson, the tailback, a guy that you like a lot.
Everything centers around their running game. And Don Jackson, when healthy, you give him a seam, he's going to split it, and he's going to keep on running. That's somebody that they have to feature here tonight against the Broncos.
3rd down and 10. You can see the sideline for Nevada signaling the plays in. Broncos have had to adjust their defense. Fajardo rolling and throwing. It's picked off. Intercepted. Thompson. Darian Thompson inside the 25. And Boise State has forced the first turnover of the ball game, and it's a big one.
You see a pressure look from Marcel Yates, the Broncos defensive coordinator, but they drop out in coverage. Fajardo on a sprint out to his right is trying to identify his receiver past the first down marker. Ill-advised throw behind his wide receiver, Richie Turner, and that's an easy interception for the free safety, Darian Thompson, his 3rd interception of the season.
And only the 2nd pick that Fajardo has thrown this year.
And this is a secondary that they get their hands on some balls. They've done a great job coming into this game. 8 interception, now 9th interception. That's good for 14th in the country, setting their offense up with great field position.
Hedrick right back to work. And he'll keep it.
Red Hedrick on the keeper, no gain on the play.
Raheem Yates and Brock Hecking made the stop for Nevada.
Yeah, you're seeing a very conservative game plan right now for the Broncos. Worried about the pressure up front, getting the ball out of Hedrick's hands quickly, featuring him in the quarterback running game. We haven't seen a lot of downfield opportunities, but I would expect here in the high red zone, they're going to try and take a shot downfield.
2nd and 10. Boise State has missed a 43-yard field goal. This is where they stalled on their first possession. Ajayi, nice move, and he backpedals to the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Jordan Hansen made the stop for Nevada. Ajayi, the junior out of Plano, Texas, does a little bit of everything.
Big back, runs tough, excellent out of the backfield. You hear Brian Polian as we set up this 3rd down and 4 here for the Broncos. The need to put as many hats on the ball as possible.
Hedrick rolling on 3rd and 4. And throwing, it's caught on the sideline. Williams Rhodes has the first down inside the 10. And the Broncos in the red zone now. 1st and goal from the 9.
Good execution on the sprint out pass. Getting outside the contain of that Nevada Wolfpack defense, and Williams Rhodes, who is dynamite in open space. You're going to see him in the slot, a little out pattern, gets lost in coverage. Hedrick hits him on the run.
Ajayi gets hit in the backfield. Yates again, and he will lose a couple yards. Good penetration by that Nevada defense. Scott Boone, their defensive coordinator, in his first year. Red zone problems for Boise State. That's been a big issue. And Nevada has one of the best red zone defenses in the country. They're 4th in the nation.
The big key is get the ball in your best player's hands. Jay Ajayi, make sure he touches it as often as possible.
Williams Rhodes, right side to the 5. And knocked out of bounds there. Hedrick was on the sideline. It was a direct snap. Williams Rhodes ended up with it. Boise State's going to end up with 3rd down and goal from about the 3. Tonight's Red Zone brought to you by Verizon.
How about that? They put their wide receiver, Thomas Spurbeck, in there, hand the ball off to Ajayi, and then give the ball to Williams Rhodes.
3rd and goal, Hedrick. Williams Rhodes in motion. Option look, inside pitch, touchdown Boise State. Jake Rowe, the tight end.
Pass complete to Jake Rowe, and that's good for Broncos touchdown.
Red zone problem solved.
Dan Goodale on the extra point.
It is a touchdown throw since it was a forward toss. And Goodale, who missed a field goal, nails the extra point. Boise State on the board first at Nevada, 7-0.
Well, the Broncos just scored their first points of the game, and it's about distraction, misdirection, and overall just good execution. Everything's going to go here, and you're going to watch a nice piece of blocking here, a kick around there, and then the tight end coming up inside for the shovel pass. There's a lot of moving parts right there, a lot of distraction. Look at that hole that the tight end Jake Rose sees as he gets an easy entrance into the end zone. Great execution and a nice job by that offense capitalizing on the first turnover on the game for the Broncos.
And that was of real concern to Nevada as you see the scoring drive coming off the interception. And that was formations and motion. Scott Boone, defensive coordinator for Nevada, told us yesterday his defense had to adjust and had to make plays off that. Kickoff goes through the end zone, and so Nevada gets it back. Uncharacteristic turnover. Cody Fajardo, Darian Thompson's pick led to the touchdown. Fajardo had thrown just one interception in 4 games and had his biggest moments of the year against his toughest opponent. He played in Tucson against Arizona and lit him up. 321 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was 29 of 39.
And that was probably his best game as the quarterback here since Brian Poling has taken over as the head coach. But to win this game, they're going to have to establish that running game.
New running back, James Butler, and straight ahead he goes. Butler across the 26 and falls out to the 29. Sam McCaskill, the sophomore defensive end, got him. Now, Boise State is playing banged up defensively. They normally are in a 4-2-5, but a 4-3 with Joey Martorano getting the start at the middle linebacker spot. His first start for the Broncos. Swing pass. Jared Gibson. Lots of room. Midfield. Gibson, the tight end, into Boise State territory and out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
You see this multiple times per game for college football. Gibson over here, out behind the line of scrimmage. The linebacker out there, Tanner Vallejo, who's playing nickel spot, misses him in coverage. Big play.
Big play, quick tempo. Both teams up-tempo offenses. Both teams don't spend a whole lot of time standing around.
Yeah, one thing when we talked to Nick Rolovich, their offensive coordinator, they felt that we do have to push the tempo. Last week against the Spartans, we used it, and when we did, we were effective, especially in the running game. So that's something that they want to try and feature here and try and go right at that Boise State defensive front.
No gain on the carry. Fajardo in the pistol. On 2nd and 10. Fajardo with time over the middle. Caught at the 15. Down to the 13. Hassan Henderson.
(6'5" on 5'9". Hassan Henderson split out. Deep post. Dante Dion gets beat inside with no safety help and a brilliant throw by Cody Fajardo.
And a hard landing for Henderson as he's helped off the field. Let's send it to Brent Stover with an update. Let's go to New York now.
Yeah, Kentucky has lost 13 of their last 14 to South Carolina, but Dylan Thompson has his ball batted up, and Bud Dupree with a pick 6. Under 2 to play in the game, Kentucky leads South Carolina 45-38. Back out to Rich, Adam, and Cassie.
All right, Brent, what a wild day it was in the SEC. The state of Mississippi right now is in one big party.
Yeah, as some of my former teammates from down in that part of the country call it the SIP The sip right now is hot. But did he just say Kentucky?
He
Beating
did.
South Carolina?
He did. We'll take a timeout. Henderson is still down. Nevada with the ball on the move. Sold out Mackey Stadium in Reno. Boise State up 7-0. Nevada on the move. A great catch by Hassan Henderson, but he's been helped to the sideline.
You're going to see him right here. Does a nice job of beating Dion, but watch as he comes down. Look how he lands with that crown of his helmet right there into the turf. And you saw moments ago the trainers working on that neck area. That's a nasty picture.
Good to see him up and moving and walking off on his own. Fajardo now. 1st and 10. Nevada at the Boise State 13. James Butler behind him. And it's Butler on the carry. And he's hit and dropped. Gets through. Fajardo kept it. It was Fajardo who pulled it, tucked it, and scored.
But what a heads-up play by Fajardo, excuse me. Armin Nance comes right in there, untouched, the defensive tackle to try and blow it up. And a good answer drive right there for the Wolfpack.
Brent Zuzo for the extra point. And he drills it. Great ball skills by Fajardo. He pulled it and scored. Cody Fajardo got me, and he got the Boise State defensive line.
Don't forget me. You're going to see a great, here's Armin Nance. I thought he was going to blow this thing up because he thinks Don Jackson has the ball, and you hit it right on the head, Rich. The ball handling skills of Fajardo, to see that Nance was closing in, and you see the footwork cutting off of his lineman's block, and the explosion to get upfield and score a touchdown. That's just a guy who has been there, he's done it, and an excellent job of leading his team down the field and answering that first Bronco touchdown.
Well, now that I know that he got an All-American like you, I don't feel so bad. 5 plays, 75 yards. And a 7-7 start here in Reno. A little over 5 minutes left, first quarter. Burrows and Bertoli are deep. And it's Dallas Burrows across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines. Cassie Gallo.
Guys, an update on Hassan Henderson. The trainers started to help him off the field, but he had trouble walking, so they laid him back down, worked on him for a while. Once on the sideline, the trainers were working on his neck. They were really rubbing the back of it. Looked like he was in a great deal of pain. They're taking him into the locker room to get checked out. Not sure if he'll return. We'll keep you updated.
Thank you, Cassie. Brian Polian in his second year. Last year 4-8. They have bounced back to go 3-1 to start this season.
And Hassan Henderson, he was going to get extended playing time today because Jericho Richardson, the normal receiver that plays in that spot, was banged up last week. So now down some receivers. We'll see how they're going to fix that on their next drive.
Swing pass, Ajayi to the 20, across the 25, close to the first down at the 28-yard line. Jay Ajayi. You see where they mark it. They mark it just shy of the 29, and it's enough for the first down. It moves the chains.
Yeah, when you lead a big back like that, a 6', 216-pound back, right there, so you can catch the ball and get a full head of steam. Very difficult tackle for a defensive player.
Ajayi again. Terrific tackle. Matthew Lyons had that early mistake, the taunting, but he's made 2 real nice plays since.
Yeah, just tracking his back and pressing the line of scrimmage. That's the best part. It's one thing to make tackles down in the defensive backfield, but when you recognize your keys, you press the line of scrimmage, make a play on a great back like Ajayi in a solo situation. Nice job.
2nd and 10. Ajayi again. Celesa Faremo, the sophomore out of Sacramento, California, after a 3-yard pickup.
one of the players that the coaching staff singled out is a guy who has flashed and has continuously made plays. Doesn't get a lot of notoriety, but he's always making something happen. Here, 3rd and 7. The Wolfpack showing blitz, looking like they're going to drop in coverage.
Broncos their own 31. Hedrick has time to the sidelines. Gorgeous pass caught there. Thomas Spurbeck, who had a big game last week at Air Force, and he's right at midfield on the catch. Evan Favors on the coverage, 21 yards on the pickup.
Both linebackers bluffing inside, trying to show blitz. Hedrick drops back, protection. You see his wide receiver, Thomas Spurbeck, get open in the flat, and he puts the ball right there in the hands.
Broncos back on the move. Ajayi outside. Big hit from the secondary. Charles Garrett and Nigel Hakens.
Well, you don't want to take too many of those. Nice job by his tight end and his wide receivers blocking. You give a big guy like that much of an edge, and again, head of steam. Hakens throwing his body in there, but you don't want to take too many of those blows as a smaller defensive back.
Gain of 9, 2nd and short. It's McNichols. McNichols to the 20, steps out of bounds. Jeremy McNichols was a late add. The freshman out of Long Beach getting his first playing time, significant playing time, and running it well.
You've got to be able to set the edge. 2 plays in a row, you see number 74, Archie Lewis, get out there. You see the tight end get out there. Nobody untouched, and McNichols has the speed to gash him.
Ajayi up the gut, inside the 5, down to the 4, gain of 9. Nigel Hakens made the stop, and the red zone issues that Boise State has suffered from don't seem to be apparent tonight.
Well, the offensive line right now, especially in this drive, putting together a great blocking performance.
Quick throw, Williams Rhodes, and he's in. Touchdown, Boise State. Shane Williams Rhodes. And a long touchdown drive. Grant Hedrick for Williams Rhodes, just his 2nd touchdown catch of the year. And it's blocked. Extra point blocked. So 13-7, Boise State. Adam, you want to pay close attention to this one. We're going to Brent Stover, USC. Arizona State update. Brent?
Yes, sir, Rich. With 3 to play, Arizona State was down 9. They get a touchdown, then a stop. Then Mike Berkovici launches up a prayer, and Jalen Strong comes down with it. His 3rd touchdown of the night. 212 through the air for Strong and 3 scores. Berkovici throws for 512 and 5 touchdowns, including the Hail Mary, and they beat USC 38-34.
Adam Archuleta, former Sun Devil, is remaining calm in the booth, but that's quite a win.
That's a big win because remember, a couple of Thursdays ago, they got blasted by UCLA, the other football team in Los Angeles. And to win in that fashion against USC, that is a much-needed win for Todd Graham and the Sun Devils.
Here, Boise State, a 13-7 lead over Nevada. This is a rivalry game, a lopsided rivalry. Boise's won 13 of the last 14. And of course, Nevada had a big win back in 2010. It still sticks in a lot of Boise State fans' memory banks. Mitchell, 5 yards deep, and it will come out to the 20. Next Thursday, your football week starts here. Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans in the AFC South. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson. Big-time matchups go primetime. Thursday Night Football on NFL Network and CBS. There's your AFC South standings. Houston at Dallas. Indianapolis has Baltimore. All lit up is Reno, Nevada. Biggest little city in the world. The Wolfpack down by 6. Cody Fajardo rolling, throwing quickly. Caught there by Jericho Richardson out to the 34-yard line, and it's a gain of 9.
Gain of 8 on the play.
Now, many would pronounce his last name Fajardo. He pronounces it Fajardo. And he said he does that because as a youngster, everybody mispronounced it. And he said, I'm just going with Fajardo.
It gives him personality. I like it.
Fajardo in trouble to the sidelines, has the first down, and is out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Well, when you get your chance to tackle these mobile quarterbacks and you get in the backfield, you have to do it. Tanner Vallejo, coming off of a slot blitz, has a chance, but you see the athleticism and the awareness of Fajardo to get past the other side, and then he just simply outruns Sam McCaskill, the other defensive end, picks up the first down.
Jackson out to the 42 as we approach a minute left, first quarter. Lots of offense. That's not a surprise. These teams have combined for over 250 yards of total offense already.
Yeah, both teams trying to establish the running game, and you saw the Broncos doing just that in that last drive, and that's why you saw them go down the field. Now for the Wolfpack, they want to establish the run, but so far in this game, the inside running game is getting clogged up by that Bronco defensive front. The Wolfpack has to attack the edges.
2nd and 8, Fajardo on the edge. Fires it, it's caught at midfield. Jericho Richardson, the receiver, he has the catch, and he's got the first down.
Yeah, good catch on the sideline. You're going to see him right there, number 84, break out. You see him settle down, put those 2 feet in with Darian Thompson on his back. Good job by Fajardo, rolling to his left, throwing on the run, and putting that ball right there.
Just inside Boise State territory. Nevada on the move, down 6. Fajardo keeps, slides, and is hammered. Loose ball, Boise State ball. Gabe Perez with the hit. Broncos recover, and the second turnover by Nevada.
Well, this ball comes out before he's hit.
Oh, I think they're going to review that.
Oh, yeah.
His knee is down. He's well into his slide. Once the knee's down, he's down.
Yeah, I think that lower leg hits the ground before the ball comes out, and boy, he's lucky right there. That's not a targeting foul.
And I think that's what Brian Polian is talking to the official right now. They are reviewing the fumble.
Yeah, he's well into his slide. And you see Gabe Perez take a shot on him, but that to me is not a fumble. He was down before the ball came loose.
In your mind, is it targeting?
In my mind, is it targeting? By today's definition and today's rules, I've seen targeting called for a lot less. So I'm a little shocked that they didn't call him for it, because he was well into his slide. You know, they love to protect the quarterbacks. But that was one that the officiating crew missed.
As a defensive player, you were a great one at Arizona State and in the NFL. A sliding quarterback like that, as you're trying to hit somebody and they're going down to the ground, how do you avoid the target?
Well, in my day, you didn't. It was legal, and you're allowed to take those shots.
After further review, the quarterback's knee was down prior to the fumble. It'll be Nevada's ball, 2nd down and 6 at the 46-yard line.
So as we expected, call reversed. Wolfpack holds on to the football. And I think Brian Polian still lobbying for a penalty, but maybe planting a seed for later in the game.
You never know. You never know. You got to try and find a way to influence the officiating crew the best way possible.
Final seconds, first quarter. And it's been a fun first quarter here in Reno. Fajardo on second down to the sidelines and incomplete. He overthrew his intended receiver. Crowd wants a flag. Wyatt Demps, the intended receiver. First quarter done. Rivalry in the Mountain West Conference. Boise State a 13-7 lead after one quarter. In the Mountain West Conference tonight, Boise State and Nevada 13-7. Broncos on top. Nevada moving in Boise State territory, but faced with a 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, very poor last week, and it was their inability to beat man-to-man coverage. This doesn't seem like a man coverage situation. See what Nick Rolovich comes up with. You see the Broncos all standing up, kind of a radar look, trying to confuse Fajardo up inside, not knowing where the pressure's coming from.
Fajardo, quick pop, and it's caught. Richardson, and he has the first down. 13 yards on the pickup.
Well, rush 3, drop 8, zone coverage, a slant by Richardson, and again, Fajardo hits him in stride.
Fajardo on 1st and 10. To the sidelines for a moment. Richardson had it. Good coverage there for Boise State. Cleishon Page.
It was a nice job out there by the Broncos defense. Tanner Vallejo containing Fajardo. If Vallejo's not there, Fajardo is still running. He forces him to throw the ball downfield in an incomplete pass.
2nd and 10. From the Nevada 33. Fajardo into the pocket and caught from behind and dropped.
Marcel Yates bringing pressure off of the left side. Puts the running back, Don Jackson, in a bind. 2-on-1. He doesn't know who to block. You see that right there. Fajardo, too much pressure. He tries to escape, but a nice job inside to get him down to the ground.
3rd down 9. Fajardo, middle, cut, 1st down, inside the 10. Wyatt Demps, 22 yards on the pickup.
Boy, what a strike. Right inside, right in the middle of the hash marks. You see Fajardo set up. He steps into the throw, fires a bullet right there over the linebacker. Big pickup again on 3rd down. Driving the ball downfield. Right in the middle of that Bronco defense.
You see Demps, he's in there after the injury to Hassan Henderson. 1st and goal from the 9. Fajardo, touchdown, Gibson. If you like offense, you've come to the right ballgame tonight.
Execution at its finest, play action, bringing up the linebacker. And throwing another strike in the middle.
Brent Zuzo adds the point. Remember, Boise State had an extra point block, and that's the difference in what has been a very entertaining night. Cody Fajardo to Jarrett Gibson. Tough night for defensive coordinators. Marcus Yates in the middle, Boise State's D coordinator.
And it's just good execution by both offenses. Fajardo's reading the linebacker right here. He's going to fake the play action, and if the linebacker steps up, he's going to hit his tight end right behind. And if the linebacker doesn't step up, he hands that ball off. But you see the inside linebacker, Martirano, step up. Gibson is wide open inside in the middle. And that's a soft spot in that secondary that I think the Nevada coaching staff has identified as somewhere they want to attack.
Marcel Yates The defensive coordinator for Boise State. Scott Boone is the defensive coordinator for Nevada, and neither defense has had much success stopping the other offense. That's Dallas Burrows, who's deep, and Brent Zuzo about to kick it away for the Wolfpack. Over 300 yards of offense already. Burrows smashes his way across the 20, out to the 21-yard line. And back to work goes Boise State. Grant Hedrick. Hedrick last week, a tough week certainly in the loss at Air Force. He was yanked after 4 interceptions.
But you watch him so far in this game, he looks confident. He's playing his game. And when he's on, this is what Grant Hedrick looks like. He gets the ball out. You can see his wheels and his ability to hurt defense in the running game. Last series, it was about running on the edges. Let's see if Nevada has an answer.
Hedrick throws it. Williams rolls down the sideline, and a great job of improvisation by Hedrick.
100% by design, option football. Hedrick, he's watching the defense. Right as you see number 25 come right in there, Brian Lane drops the coverage. Hedrick hits it out to Williams Road, and he makes him pay.
Back to work, Burrows with the catch. And at the 46-yard line, it's a gain of 6. Let's go down to the sideline. Cassie Gallo.
Guys, a quick update on Hassan Henderson. He is back on the field. Trainers are still working on him, but they're taping up his knees where it looks like he has a couple of scabs on him. But I am told he is going back in the game.
That's great news.
Real good news.
Big catch on that first scoring drive for Nevada. Boise State football from their own 47. Ajayi. A gain of maybe 3. Duran Workman made the stop. And it brings up 3rd down.
3rd down and 4, possible man-to-man situation. Right here, you're going to see that stack up top. Watch for some sort of combination by Williams Rhodes.
Ajayi in the backfield with Holden Huff. Hedrick swings it. Ajayi, a stumbling catch. He's right at the sticks, and they mark him just short of the 45. That's good for the 1st down, and the Broncos continue to move the football.
They motion over to create a bunch, and that puts the defense, it takes their eyes off of Jay Ajayi. He leaks right there into the flat. That's an easy 1st down, easy throw for Hedrick.
From the 45, a little toss inside Jeremy McNichols. Tell you what, for a guy that wasn't on the depth charts, McNichols getting a lot of time and providing a nice punch.
You can see he has speed. They're trying to work him on the edges. He's going to come across in motion, give him a head of steam. He gets a nice block by his tight end, Jake Rowe. And the Wolfpack, again, having a hard time dealing with speed on the edge.
Scott Boone, Nevada's defensive coordinator, with a concerned look. From the Wolfpack 28, Hedrick keeps it and finds himself nestled down at the 22-yard line. A gain of 7. Raheem Yates made the stop.
Yeah, you see Mike Sanford, the offensive coordinator, going to the running game. You know, trying to massage that defense, trying to slow down the tempo of this game, give his defense a little bit of a rest.
A 2nd and 4. Ajayi hitting the backfield, sheds a couple tacklers, and gets to the 26-yard line. He's going to lose 2 yards.
Yeah, penetration. Raheem Yates, the defensive tackles, giving a swim move, getting into the backfield, and getting to Ajayi before he's able to pick up a full head of steam. Now that puts this offense at 3rd and 7.
They just converted a 3rd down and 4.
A lot of space up at the top. Look for a slant.
Hedrick out of the pocket to the 20. Has the 1st down. 18-yard line. And the Broncos move the sticks again.
Not only keeping him inside the pocket, but he is really good. If you watch him over the course of his career, stepping up and making plays with the inside scrambling ability.
From the Nevada 18. And a timeout. I think Scott Boone,
first charge timeout,
and Brian Polian
Nevada
just want to give their defense a rest. So we'll step aside. Everybody, catch your breath. Boise State on the move. Boise State quarterback Grant Hedrick, his head coach Brian Harsin, former Boise State quarterback. Now, they are moving the football. The guy in the blue shirt, though, is not part of this, and that's even more impressive. When you don't have Matt Miller in your offense and you're moving it like this, you're really doing something.
Yeah, he's been the one guy, the one stalwart of this offense, as you see. 244 career reception. He has 8 100-yard receiving games. When you look at this offense, it's a combination of he and Williams Rhodes, and not having that consistent performer out there makes life a little bit more difficult for Grant Hedrick, but not that difficult so far.
Our icy hot injury report: Miller out for the game, ankle injury. 1st and 10, Boise State from the Nevada 18. Hedrick has had an outstanding start to this game. Ajayi, nothing there. Back to the line of scrimmage. Dupree, Roberts, Jordan made the stop. Look at the numbers that Hedrick has put up so far.
And you see, it's a conservative game plan. A lot of his passing attempts are getting him out there on the edge, giving him some clean reads, not making him do too much, because that would be catastrophic for his confidence to come in here with a sophisticated passing game and follow up a 4-interception performance with more turnovers.
2nd and 10. In the red zone, once again, is Boise State. Ajayi over the left tackle, maybe a yard. Well, the Broncos have been good on 3rd down on this drive, but it's getting longer from 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 6, now 3rd and 9.
And Nevada, their defense stepping up again in the red zone, making it very challenging. Nowhere to run up inside, 3rd and long. And so look for a screen. You got a nasty split at the top with Jay Ajayi lined up near to him.
On 3rd and 9, blitz coming. Hedrick flushed. Wings it out of bounds. Now the Broncos have missed a field goal tonight. Dan Goodale missed from 43 yards. He also has had an extra point block. This is the field goal.
See that when he just pushes to the right? And he's been an excellent field goal kicker, so I'm sure that Brian Harsin has confidence in him, even though he did miss that first one. But again, as you mentioned, 3 points instead of 7. One of the things for this offense is to capitalize.
This one is up, and this one is good. Dan Goodale puts Boise State on top, 16-14. Almost 400 yards of total offense already in this ball game. 9 minutes left in the first half. Boise State up by 2. Rich Waltz, Adam Archuleta, Cassie Gallo in Reno tonight. Rivals in the Mountain West. These two teams have played some epic games with fantastic finishes. And this one off to a fast start. Elijah Mitchell, Kendall Brock. Deep for Nevada. And a deep kick ends up in the seats. Series history presented by Bud Light. What will happen next? Now lopsided right now. 13 of the last 14 Boise State has won. It's the 41st meeting. But that one win that Nevada has in the last 14, maybe the biggest loss in Boise State history, was that night in 2010 when Boise State came in at number 3 in the country. Nevada was number 19. And Nevada took them down in overtime. And they've kind of followed each other, Adam, from the Big Sky to the Big West to the WAC into the Mountain West.
Yeah, and that's really kind of what makes a rivalry. I think back to my days playing against the Arizona Wildcats. It's always the team that knocks the team out from doing something great.
Ooh, speaking of knocked out, loose ball. Boise State has it if it's a catch.
I'm not quite sure that this was a catch. I'm not sure that James Butler was able to make a football move.
Flags are
before
thrown.
Contact was made. That's how you time it up for Kamale Correa.
That's, I believe it was Ian Seau. No, you're right. It is Correa, the sophomore.
A great recognition, timing it up, making contact right there.
All right, the question is catch or no catch?
There is no foul on the play. Second down.
I don't think that was a catch. I don't think he was able to make a football move while he had possession of the ball.
Kamale Correa, the sophomore out of St. Louis High School, one of the great high school programs in Honolulu. Fajardo. Incomplete. Richie Turner, the intended receiver. Contact as the ball arrived. And for Boise State, Cleshon Page on the coverage.
Yeah, he's been banged up a little bit too, playing tonight opposite Dante Dion. And you see Yates brings pressure and pulls up Fajardo. Watch the timing right here. Does he make contact? A little bit early, going over the back. That was close. You play that in real time, that's a tough call for the side judge.
Third down, 16. Fajardo, blitz coming to the sidelines. Henderson back in the game, makes the catch at midfield. 30 yards on the catch.
This is all about size. Hassan Henderson, former quarterback. Tempo right now, look for a quick run.
Jackson inside Nevada territory. Remember, he left in the first quarter after being injured. Hassan Henderson.
Tough matchup. Jonathan Moxey, 5'10", against 6'5". This is a jump ball. You see Henderson in traffic, contested catch, using that body and coming down with a catch.
Nick Rolovich was a quarterback himself at Hawaii. Jackson to the 45. It'll bring up third down and about 4. Armand Nance, the stop.
And this is the man-to-man down and distance that Nevada has to try and solve. And you go back to last week against the Spartans where they were miserable on third down. It was that inability for them to beat man-to-man coverage. They felt like they really practiced this week on trying to beat press, trying to create those crossing lanes to be able to pick up those crucial first downs.
Brian Polian and the Wolfpack faced with 3rd and 4 just inside Boise State territory. Quick slant. Henderson again breaks free, 20 to the 10 and out of bounds. 35 yards on the pickup.
It's a tight window for Fajardo to fit the ball into. You've got dropping linebackers. You see number 54 right there on the screen. And then Henderson using that big body, splitting 2 defenders and picking up yards after the catch. I mean, he's having a heck of a night. That's Jonathan Moxey again missing the tackle after getting victimized for the big play on that third down before.
Joey Martirano had to run him down and save a touchdown. There's an injury right now. A Boise State player is getting up. That's Ben Weaver, the sophomore linebacker. So So the ball sits just outside the 10 at the 11. 1st and 10. And Nevada trying to answer Boise State's last field goal.
And you can see Marcel Yates not confident in man coverage against these wide receivers, playing a lot of zone, especially on 3rd downs, and quite frankly not having any success against Fajardo tonight in those zone coverage matchups.
Henderson on the sideline. Jackson in the backfield. And it's Jackson. Bounces outside, and that window is closed quickly.
Jackson on the carry, no gain on the play.
Corey Bell came up to make the stop.
It's tough. They have to stick with the run. They have to be patient. They can't give up on it. But there's a Boise State defense that has been exceptional against the run this year. Held their first 4 teams to less than 100 yards on the ground so far this season. So they're having success with the pass, but you can't abandon the run. It's going to pay off later on in the game.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Fajardo to the corner, wide open, caught, touchdown, Richardson.
Coverage. Cleashon Page comes off of his man, Jericho Richardson. Easy throw and catch for a touchdown for Fajardo. You're going to watch miscommunication in the secondary leads to a wide open Richardson.
Second charge. Timeout, Nevada.
Nevada calls a timeout.
30-second timeout.
Both Cody Fajardo and Grant Hedrick are having big nights here.
You're going to watch Cleashon Page right there. One-on-one with Jericho Richardson. He drives up on Richie Turner, who's covered. And that's just too much space for Darian Thompson, the free safety, to try and make up.
Fajardo has thrown for 2. Hedrick has thrown for 2. The Wolfpack had to burn a timeout before a decision to make here. They're up 20-16. Boise State has missed an extra point in the exchange.
Yeah, kind of a curious place to take a timeout right before an extra point attempt. You have to wonder if Brian Polian was trying to decide
to go
whether or not to go for 2.
Never know, might have been a personnel issue as well. But the point is good, and the theme continues. And that theme is offense. Lots of it here tonight. A wild day in college football, that's to say the least. Well, what does that do to the Heisman Watch? Our Nissan Heisman Watch. 3 guys coming into this weekend that had Heisman hopes.
Well, Marcus Mariota was my front runner, so unfortunately, after that game against the Arizona Wildcats, you're out. Amari Cooper, you lose to Ole Miss. It's going to be a shaking up. I think we're going to have to maybe think about putting Dak Prescott up there for the day he had for Mississippi State in that big win against Texas A&M. But this is going to be a very interesting Heisman race this season. No clear-cut front runners, and you see a lot of guys playing some good ball.
On the Verizon halftime report, we'll get you up to speed on all the leading Heisman contenders, and of course have all the highlights from an incredible day filled with upsets, major upsets in college football. 21-16, Nevada to kick it off. Brent Stover, Christian Fourier, getting ready in New York. Burrows decides to bring it out. Not a great decision. Trevor Taft with a big hit on the special teams. Verizon halftime report. First half highlights and stats from this ball game. Brent Stover, Christian Fourier diving into the SEC. What a day for the state of Mississippi. Big day in the Big 12, big upset in the Pac-12. Adam Archuleta's Arizona State Sun Devils taking down USC in dramatic fashion. Now the Broncos backed up to their own 10. There's still 6 minutes left in this first half. Hedrick keeps it. Then Hedrick slides across the 15. Brock Hecking made the stop.
Yeah, a lot of quarterback runs. And you see Hedrick, he's keeping an eye on Hecking, who closes down for the run. And you see that motor to squeeze that running lane down, run down the line of scrimmage, and then limit the gain.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Hedrick to the sidelines, and down to get it, Thomas Spurbeck. And the sophomore getting the start in the absence of the all-conference Matt Miller.
Yeah, really stepped up big last week. Had some exceptional catches in his first extended playing time. They feel like he's a guy that can step up and fill in for an injured Matt Miller.
Breathing room now for Boise State. Out to their 26, Ajayi. Matthew Lyons finished him off.
Yeah, you see for the second time tonight, Lyons inside the line of scrimmage, getting off the block, disengaging from the left guard, Travis Averill. And that's the key. You get a guy like Ajayi, a big back who's got speed. You can't give him a full head of steam. You've got to take shots at the line of scrimmage.
Jeremy McNichols, a running back, is lined up as a wide receiver. Hedrick looked to him, and now he's stuffed and sacked. Brian Lane Jr., the first to get there.
They bring Brian Lane Jr. off of the edge. Pressure from Scott Boone's defense. He comes down. He gets knocked down by the right guard. You're going to watch him come right in here. He gets knocked down, but has the awareness as Hedrick tries to scramble to come off and make the tackle.
This is 3rd down and long. 3rd and 12. Hedrick is flushed to the sidelines. And he'll toss it out of bounds. He'll take a hit on the sidelines. Brian Harsin, Boise State's head coach, racing down the sidelines. He wanted a flag.
Oh, Lenny Jones, inside pressure, number 94, is what made Hedrick flush the pocket. The coverage good downfield.
And watching the replay, Hedrick got a little push and then tripped.
That's more like a little love tap, Rich.
No flag. Richie Turner is deep. Sean Whale to punt it. First punt. Turner out to the 27-yard line. Nevada and Boise State. All the looks of a shootout in the Mountain West, in the biggest little city in the world. The Wolfpack at home and on top, 21-16 over Boise State. NFL on CBS. Tomorrow, doubleheader, Texans and Cowboys in Big D. Ravens and Colts. Then you've got Jets and Chargers. Then the Chiefs and the 49ers. Colin Kaepernick alert in that ball game. The former Wolfpack quarterback. Check your local listings. JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer. NFL Today presented by Southwest Airlines. Get you started.
San Fran with that big win against the Philadelphia Eagles last week. And boy, the Chiefs, Andy Reid, he's got those guys rolling. Alex Smith going back to San Francisco.
Cody Fajardo to the sidelines. Tiptoe, but no catch. Richie Turner was out of bounds.
I'm a little surprised. I would have expected maybe the Wolfpack to kind of slow things down on offense a little bit. They get the ball back before half. So it would be a great plus or a shot in the arm to be able to get the last points before halftime and not give the Broncos a chance
3.5 minutes left. Fajardo's numbers. He did throw a pick that led to Boise State's first score. And that one is picked. Intercepted. Tyler Gray to the house. Touchdown Broncos. 32 yards.
Gray, just exceptional pressure off of the edge. Fajardo thinks he has a hot, but Gray floats right over there to the vacated space, keeps his eyes on Fajardo, comes away with a pick six. Perfectly played and executed.
In 4 games coming in, Cody Fajardo had thrown just 1 interception. He's thrown 2 very costly ones here tonight. Tyler Gray with a touchdown. And this is a stunned crowd here in Reno.
Well, a big shot in the arm for the Broncos defensively. And Gray just reading his keys, reading Fajardo. The pressure right here. And Gray goes right there, understanding that that's where the side adjustment's going to be. Keeps his eyes on there, undercuts the receiver. Green grass, pick six. Broncos back in business.
What were you saying about Nevada not giving Boise State a chance at the end of the half?
That's not quite what I was thinking. I'm a little surprised. I thought maybe they try and run the ball, bleed that clock out a little bit. You get an incomplete pass on first down. Now that narrows down your playbook. You have to pass on second down. Bad things happen for the Nevada offense. Good things happen for the Broncos on defense.
Elijah Mitchell is deep. So is the kick. It's great to be in the top 10, isn't it? Except maybe today. The AP top 10. Well, Florida State had an easy one. Oregon obviously coming into the weekend taken down by Arizona. What a stunner. Ole Miss, a terrific game. What a scene in the Grove. TCU beating Oklahoma. Texas A&M going down in Starkville.
And I thought that, you know, from the eye test, the 3 most complete teams in football were Oregon, Alabama, and Oklahoma coming into this weekend. So a stunning day in college football, but that's just the way we like it.
1st and 10 on the ground. It's Butler out to the 30. Now what's your mindset if you're Brian Polian and Nevada after that pick?
Well, you have to bleed the clock. I understand you haven't been able to run the ball, but now you've just given Boise State a chance to get the touchdown. 3 minutes left in the game. You can't go 3 and out. Give Boise State the ball and a chance to score in a 2-minute situation. So you've got to get first down, but you've got to be able to run the clock as well.
2nd and 5, play action. Fajardo over the middle, right at the sticks. Jared Gibson, who has a touchdown catch, has the first down. It'll move the chains.
Now that pick six, that changes the complexion of this game. I mean, what a big needed boost for the Broncos to step up defensively. After the last couple of series, the Wolfpack have had no problem going down the field and scoring.
Clock under 2.5 minutes left. First half. Fajardo, deep middle. That's picked off. Did he catch it? Did he hold it? Dante Dion. Yeah, it's an interception.
6 interceptions last year. 2 interceptions so far this year. Fajardo throwing the ball in coverage. Dion in great position. What about those ball skills right there? The ball goes through Hassan Henderson. Dion has the awareness, the instincts to get his hands up and come down with the interception. Again, going to the passing game, the last 2 drives have put the Broncos not only back in this, but a chance to extend their lead going into halftime. What a brilliant play.
Yeah, Nick Rolovich, the offensive coordinator, and Fajardo are stunned on the sideline. Let's see what the Broncos do with it on 1st and 10. Hedrick, big play, goes deep, and it's caught at the 5. Tumbling catch. Chaz Anderson, the sophomore. "54 yards, 1st and goal from the 4.
Well, double post. They bring somebody shallow to clear out. Nigel Hakins opens up the middle of the field. What about the accuracy downfield for Hedrick to strike? And the Broncos again knocking on the door for a touchdown.
Ajayi in the backfield. He has it. And it's stopped.
Here it is. They're going to bring this player here, which is going to influence Hakins, and run the post right behind, man-to-man. No middle safety in the middle of the field. And a perfect pass. An even better catch.
2nd and goal. Hedrick keeps it to the corner, to the end zone. Touchdown, Boise State. What a sequence of events for the Broncos. A pick 6, a big hit, and Hedrick takes it in.
Everybody fooled. You see Hecking go inside. You see the cornerback, Evan Favors, go inside. Hedrick, he's got wheels. You give him that much space, and he's going to score. And how about the play calling from Mike Sanford, the offensive coordinator, dialing up the deep ball, connecting, and then calling the quarterback keep.
Well, Nevada had a 4-point lead and the ball with 3 minutes left, and they sat right around their own 25-yard line.
And I go back to it. I thought the right play 2 series ago was to stay on the ground, try and milk it, not do anything to give Boise State momentum going into halftime. And that's about as catastrophic as you could possibly ask for if you're Brian Polian in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes of the ball game, or in the half.
So it's a 9-point Boise State lead. Mitchell, and it's a touchback. Now last year, Boise State and Nevada, the Wolfpack had a halftime lead of 17-7. Cody Fajardo actually in this ball game, and it was a coming out party for Grant Hedrick as well. Jay Ajayi had a big time game, 222 yards, including a 71-yard touchdown. And Boise State came back to win at home 34-17.
Now remember, Joe Southwick got hurt on their first offensive play from scrimmage. Grant Hedrick came in, had a really good day. I think he 18 for 21, added another 120 yards on the ground. But it was the Broncos in that running game just overpowered Nevada defensively. They led them to run away in that ball game. And here, just the worst possible situation for Brian Polian and the Wolfpack to go into halftime.
So I ask you a third time now for Nevada. Offensively here, they keep it on the ground and they bust one. Jackson across the 40. Clock will stop. It's a first down. It's a 13-yard pickup. Correa made the stop for Boise State.
Well, the instinct is to try and go down the field and score. You still have time on the clock, and you're more than capable of doing it. But you cannot turn the ball over. You have to be conservative. Your passes have to be towards the outside and the sidelines, away from traffic, easy reads for Fajardo. And you got to be able to get the ball out of bounds to stop the clock.
Blitz coming. Fajardo with time. There's the sideline. There's the catch. It's Turner into Boise State territory, out of bounds at the 31, 27-yard pickup.
Pass protection exceptional. Fajardo has time to let Richie Turner run his route, gain the separation. Nice job connecting, getting out of bounds, and stopping the clock.
Cody Fajardo one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the Mountain West Conference, has thrown 3 big interceptions
Boise
here in
State,
the first half.
30-second timeout.
One a pick 6. The other 2 have set up touchdowns.
And there are a couple of great plays by the defensive players for Boise State. The pick 6, a nice job of breaking on the ball. And then you saw incredible ball skills from Dante Dion, the cornerback, to come up with that last interception. So it's a combination of bad choices, but also great plays by the defense. Off coverage, Richie Turner. Nice speed out, ran on Jonathan Moxie. Fajardo hits him, gets out of bounds. See, Fajardo takes a little bit of a shot. Not too bad. But now you got a chance. Now you got a chance to score points. You're in striking position. You had a positive play with Don Jackson up the middle on a run. Explosive play downfield to Richie Turner. You just got to avoid the catastrophic turnover.
Fajardo in trouble, and he's sacked. A huge loss. Back at the 50. That's a 20-yard loss. Tanner Vallejo.
Same blitz that they had the interception on, and you're going to watch off of this side. And Fajardo tries to spin out of it, but Vallejo keeps his ground, sets the edge, gets off the block, and comes down with a sack. Huge play by the linebacker, Tanner Vallejo.
Nevada has 1 timeout left. Boise State has a pair. 2nd and forever. And a draw. They'll bring up 3rd down, and neither coach wants to stop the clock right now.
Yeah, they had their chance before that last sack by Vallejo. But now you just got to chalk it up, regroup, try and come out after halftime and recapture the momentum that you had at the beginning of the 2nd quarter.
Interception sunk Brian Harsin in Boise State last week. This week, it's his defense that comes up with 3 big picks of Cody Fajardo. And the Broncos head in at the half with a 30-21 lead. A big turn of events. A pick 6. Tyler Gray took one back. Boise State went up top. Chaz Anderson with a nice catch at the 5. Let's go down to Cassie Gallo.
Thanks, guys. Coach, turnovers were an issue coming in. Tonight, you guys are making the most of them. What's working defensively?
Well, we have got a couple turnovers. It was big. You know, Gray getting the interception there and be able to turn that for a touchdown is huge. You know, we still got to tackle better. They're making some plays up inside. We've got to do a better job defending the pass. And then offensively, keep the rhythm. Keep making positive plays is the key for us right now. But we still got a 2nd half. I mean, it's a tight game. Both teams are playing well. We got to come out and play on fire the 2nd half.
And how do you keep that rhythm on offense in the 2nd?
Well, go back, make great adjustments, and just keep doing what we're doing. Stay within the game plan. Guys, go out there and execute one play at a time. It's really that simple.
Thanks, Coach. We'll let you catch your breath.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cassie. Brian Harsin and Boise State, a 9-point halftime lead in the Mountain West. After the break, we'll send you to our CBS Sports Network studio in New York for the Verizon Halftime Report. You're watching college football right here on CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Lots of offense in the first half in the Mountain West. In Reno, Boise State a 9-point lead, 30-21. Rich Waltz along with Adam Archuleta. This was a track meet going back and forth until about 3.5 minutes left, and then all of a sudden some big plays by Boise State's defense took over.
Yeah, both teams came into this game wanting to establish the run. Well, they haven't been able to do that. It started off both quarterbacks hot, both Grant Hedrick for Boise State, and again, Cody Fajardo for Nevada, moving the ball down the field, but then it all fell apart. The pick 6 right before halftime broke the game in Boise State's favor. They followed up an exceptional interception again, sets up another touchdown, and what should have been a comfortable lead for Nevada going into halftime, now they got a lot of catching up to do.
Well, if the first half is any indication, they've got the firepower to catch up because both teams moved the football.
Yeah, both quarterbacks started out extremely well. Grant Hedrick starts it off with a little shovel pass to his tight end. He flips it out to his speedy wide receiver, Shane William Rhodes, and then the quarterback keep for his last touchdown. And for Nevada, it was kind of the same thing. Early in the game, and especially in that second quarter, Fajardo really started to find his groove. Excellent run up the middle on the quarterback keep, but this is where it all fell apart. Big pick six to the linebacker, Tyler Gray, with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the half. The next series follows it up with an interception to Dante Dion, and that leads Boise State to another touchdown. And then they got into scoring position where they had a chance right before half, but an ill-timed sack thwarted those chances, and here we are. Boise State with a 9-point lead at halftime.
Quicken Loan's first half stats. Look at the total yardage for both teams. Nevada 260, Boise State 303, but the points off turnovers, the pick six, and then 2 interceptions that set up touchdowns.
And you talk to, Brian Harsin and the Broncos, that's what they had to deal with last week. Of course, talking about the 4 interceptions, 7 turnovers against Air Force. But when you can take those turnovers, not only turn them into points, but turn them into touchdowns, it's a big shot in the arm, big reason why they're up 9 points at halftime.
What a change of scenery for Boise State. On the road at Air Force, a turnover fest in the loss, the 2 touchdown loss last week. Here on the road again in Reno, 9-point halftime lead fueled by 3 picks. Let's go down to the sideline. Cassie Gallo. Cassie?
Guys, just talked to head coach Brian Polian. He said his offense needs to stop shooting themselves in the foot. I asked him about Cody Fajardo and how he needed to settle down. He said he's not worried about him, that those 2 picks didn't belong to him. On defense, he said that his team needs to do a better job of lining up and a better job of communicating, guys.
Well, Brian Polian leans on his dad for a lot of things. Of course, his father, Bill, in the NFL, an incredible career as an executive. On 1st and 10, Nevada from their own 25, and Jackson, the tone set early there. Darian Thompson up with a hit. Sonic quarterback profile. Well, for Fajardo, everything great except the 3 picks, and 3 big ones.
There's an except. Yes. He started out hot and had a really nice connection, a nice chemistry with Hassan Henderson, and connected for some big plays. But boy, when the 3 interceptions are turned into 21 points, that's the difference between winning and losing.
Another big play. Jackson met by Tanner Vallejo.
Well, we just saw first 2 plays, the Broncos, 2 exceptional individual efforts by their defense. The first play, Darian Thompson, the free safety, comes up with a stick. And then Tanner Vallejo playing outside, getting off the block of Richie Turner and putting his face right in the thigh board for a tackle for a loss.
Now a 3rd down and 15. Nevada 4-5 on 3rd down. Hit as he throws, broken up, flag down. Gets to the intended receiver. And on the coverage, Dylan Sumner Gardner.
Yeah, off of Fajardo's left side, you see number 53, Bo Martin, with a speed rush on the left tackle, Austin
defense.
Corbett.
Number 29. Penalty enforcement, spot of the foul. 1st down.
And Sumner Gardner with a pass interference. This is a 3rd and 15. Let's take a look and see what happened. You see he was all over him on the tight end, Jared Gibson. Big mistake.
And a big break for Nevada.
Yeah, very big break. Talk about going 3 and out in your first possession after halftime, giving the Broncos great field position. Now they get another shot.
Fajardo, pocket collapses, fires it, and it's caught and picked off. Darian Thompson, 4th of the night for Fajardo. He tried to throw it away, but Thompson caught it before he went out of bounds.
The pressure on the outside right here. beating the block of, I believe that's Don Jackson. Number 36 coming inside Tyler Gray, forcing to Fajardo until an awful decision.
Was an interception. The previous play is now under further review.
They will review the interception, but it certainly looked like, at least at first blush, like Thompson, for the second time tonight, has an interception.
It's an awful decision. See the free safety right there? Yes, he gets that. Excellent ball skills to come down with a pick. And what about Tyler Gray? He had the pick six before halftime that broke it open, and then the pressure off of Fajardo's left side, beating the block of Don Jackson, forcing a terrible pass. And the Broncos defensively opportunistic.
Fajardo in disbelief. 3 very costly interceptions in the first half, trying to throw it away. Darian Thompson's second pick of the night. It's under review, but all signs point towards the 4th interception of the night.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed, interception.
Wow. And all the talk coming into this wasn't about Cody Fajardo and ball security. It was about Grant Hedrick and his interceptions. And he's been outstanding tonight.
Yeah, well, yeah. In the first game of the season, he has 4 picks against Ole Miss, which we've seen is a great defense. Last week, 4 picks against Air Force. He has come in here and redeemed himself nicely. But now it's Fajardo trying to do too much, and it's costing his team.
Hedrick over the middle, caught in traffic. Holding on is Holden Huff, the junior tight end.
Seam pattern right up here, number 85 on the right side of your screen. Hedrick gets that ball over the linebacker, Matt Lyons, dropping in coverage, hits his tight end, and again, the Bronco offense moving the ball nicely down the field.
There's an injured player in the end zone right now. Nigel Hakens, a fine defensive back for Nevada. The catch by Huff. Hakens, number 23, in that collision. Boise State, a 9-point lead and on the doorstep.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise, we'll pick you up. By Sonic's new boneless chicken wings. And by Icy Hot Smart Relief TENS Therapy.
That, my friends, is the Taj Mahal of 10 pins, the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. It opened in '95. Over $47 million to build it. 80 lanes.
That's incredible.
Nigel Hakens, injured, is off and on the sideline. 30-21, Boise State on top and inside the 10. Hedrick head down to the 2 and close. They'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Boy, it's amazing, Rich, how fast a game can turn. Because you kind of got the feeling that Nevada was working on something special in the second quarter. And just like that, the Broncos a chance to get another touchdown.
Ajayi, end zone, but not in. Teammates thought he was in. Ajayi thought he was in. Raheem Yates made the stop. Scott Boone, defensive coordinator. Now, Ajayi motioning to the sideline. He wanted.
The previous play is under further review. The ruling was the runner was short of the goal line.
That's exactly what he wanted. He wanted a review. So it's a challenge. It's under review.
See a lot of bodies right here. You're going to see Ajayi take the ball, just bury his head in there and try and pump those legs. And I think there's too many bodies in there to see exactly where he went down and where the ball is.
There has to be indisputable evidence.
You see there at the end, the ball sneaks over the goal line, but the question is, when does his knee go down?
Well, you see the ball come across. Here's another look. Wow, I don't see the knee hitting at all.
Yeah, that view right there, that's the money. That's the money view right there. And I think he gets that ball in.
Ryan Polian's not real happy right now. What lower body strength here.
Yeah, you see this effort. There's a big mass of bodies right there, but you see him, he lunges in. The knee not down. You see as he extends that ball over the goal line. Got to say that's a touchdown. Excellent camera work to give us that angle.
And for the replay official, it's sort of a forensic replay because you see the ball come across, and in the second replay, you don't see the knee come down at all.
Well, let's hope he went to his criminal justice classes and he gets this right.
Boy, what a tough turn of events. Ryan Polian right now stunned. Brian Harsin hoping this is a score.
I mean, you don't really
After
officially.
further review, the runner was never down prior to the ball crossing the goal line. The result of the play is a touchdown.
CSI Reno says touchdown Boise State.
Boy, nice work. It's tough. You're -4 in turnovers, and the other team turns that into 28 points. It's tough to win ball games at any level.
And in the last 5.5 minutes of game clock, 3 interceptions have turned into 21 points for Boise State. And for one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the Mountain West Conference, Cody Fajardo, it's been a nightmare.
Well, he started off the game in the first quarter with an ill-advised pass, trying to force it while running to his right. This was the big one. Right before halftime, Tyler Gray jumping underneath and getting a pick six. Dante Dion, the outstanding coverage corner, with the third interception, and then another poor decision by Fajardo gives Darian Thompson his second interception of the game.
This is a quarterback that came into this football game, 43 career touchdowns, just 19 picks. On the season, 4 touchdowns, just 1 pick.
And remember, Cassie told us before the game started, their turnover margin, big reason for their success. They were exceptional at taking care of the football. You want to win a big conference game against one of your rivals, you can't do it by giving the ball up 4 times.
And you saw Ajayi. Nevada has kept him in check tonight. That's not been the issue. Mitchell at the 4. Elijah Mitchell to the 20-yard line. Boy, how do you rehab Fajardo and this offense right now?
Well, the last thing you want to do, you're sitting here, you're down 16 points. It'd be nice if you had a running game to rely on, because the last thing you want to do is try and get your quarterback to get back there and keep firing balls downfield when he's having an off night. But so far tonight, there has been no running lanes whatsoever because of that Boise State defensive front. So, Fajardo's going to have to climb out of this. He's going to have to be able to turn this around, make plays in the passing game if they want a chance of coming back.
Fajardo on the mark there. Hassan Henderson, who had some big catches in the first half, holds on.
And you see Nick Rolovich moving the pocket, trying to get him on the edge, trying to get away from that pressure. Marcel Yates, heavy pressure to Fajardo's left, and it's worked for most of the game here tonight. So you see, trying to design plays going to his right to give him an extra view of what's going on downfield.
Fajardo slides across the 45, a 9-yard pickup. Let's go down to Cassie Gallo. Cassie?
Guys, for Boise State, one of the perks about having a neighbor like the Seattle Seahawks is they can learn from one of the best defenses in the NFL. This year, the Broncos spent a lot of time watching film from Seattle's games. Defensive coordinator Marcel Yates says he wants his guys to mimic how fast Seattle flies to the ball and plays with an aggressive mentality. He said it's been a big help this year, and guys, a big help tonight.
Well, they're playing like Seattle's defense. I don't know if you want to dub Darian Thompson the Richard Sherman of this ball game, but he's got 2 picks. Tyler Gray, of course, had the touchdown return, and Dante Dion's got an interception.
That's the recipe. They've been opportunistic the entire season coming into this game. 12 turnovers. That was tied for 4th nationally. I have a feeling after this game they're going to climb even higher on those charts.
There's Marcel Yates in the middle. He played at Boise State. He was a very good defensive back in the late 90s. 3rd and 2. Fajardo keeps it. He's got a line green. He's 30. He's 20. He's touchdown Nevada. 56 yards. Well, I guess that's one way to rehab your quarterback, have him keep it.
When you blitz, you expose your team to one-on-one tackles. Corey Bell had a shot. Fajardo makes him miss, and then he puts it in 5th gear for the touchdown.
And it looks like Nevada, looking at the score, down 10, gonna go for 2. Two-point conversion attempt. Fajardo. Quick throw. It's caught and good. Richie Turner. And the Wolfpack with a big step forward. 8 points. And now down by 8. Cody Fajardo has thrown 4 interceptions tonight for Nevada. But on this run, he takes it 37-29.
When you sell out, you've got to be able to make one-on-one tackles against great athletes. Marcel Yates selling out with the blitz. And you're going to watch Cody Fajardo keep this ball. Corey Bell comes into the screen right here. Number 38. You've got to be able to make that play. Fajardo puts a move on him. There's nobody on the 2nd and 3rd layer of the defense. And now it's just about straight line speed. Fajardo gets the Wolfpack back in it.
Brent Zuzo to kick it off. There's been over 660 yards of total offense combined in this game already. And that one sails to the end zone. Time now for the Do Game Day Right, and it's brought to you by the all-new LG G3. Let's go down to Cassie Gallo.
Guys, if you look closely at the Wolfpack helmets, you'll see little axes on them. They're stickers coaches give out to players who make a big play or meet a goal during the week. The axes are actually part of the team's motto, keep chopping wood. When they went 4-8 last year, Coach Polian sat them down, told them, you have to fight through this. Eventually, you'll get where you want to be. Keep chopping wood. He says they bought into it. When times are tough, they hang together. We'll see if they look to it for the rest of this game, guys.
Well, it's very appropriate on a night like this. Inside screen, Shane Williams-Rhodes to the 27. Matthew Lyons with the stop.
And Kendall Johnson, the freshman out there, was an exceptional tackle in space to get the legs of Williams-Rhodes and bring him down.
4.5 minutes of escape for the third quarter. Little toss, Jeremy McNichols. McNichols across the 30 to the 34. A gain of 6. It'll bring up a third and short, third and 2.
And they run that play earlier in the game for a 28-yard pickup. That time, Matthew Lyons staying home, making a play. One of the very few third and short yardage situations. Quick slants. Pressure coming from Hedrick's right, or his left.
Here comes the pressure. It's a quick throw and a tumbling catch, Troy Ware. Just his third catch of the year, the junior out of Oceanside, California.
The heads-up play by Hedrick. A slant coming from the same side of the blitz. He identifies it, gets the ball out of his hands quickly, and picks up a much-needed first down.
Boise State on the move. Another catch. Again, it's Ware. Boise State has had to go deep on the depth charts, especially with the injury to Matt Miller.
And you see Scott Boone again, back-to-back pressures. But the protection is there. Ware clears the middle. Nobody inside. Easy sight line for Hedrick. And again, accuracy has been excellent tonight.
To the Nevada 41 on 1st and 10. Ajayi drops it. It's loose. Nevada has it. Raheem Yates. Ball is dead. Nevada has it. And a wild night in Reno just gets wilder.
Ruling on the field was the runner had fumbled the ball, was recovered by Nevada. The runner was down by rule. First down, Nevada.
Well, that exchange, Celessa Faremo, number 97, gets the penetration. And I think Ajayi's eyes and his concern was on Faremo and the penetration. He did not secure the exchange. Now the Wolfpack getting a little good fortune, getting some momentum, and helping out their offense as they attempt to climb back in this game.
Broncos' first turnover. Fajardo, he'll keep it across midfield. A gain of 5. Ajayi last week had 2 fumbles at Air Force that he lost his first 2 of the season.
And a lot of those coming because he fights for the extra yardage and he doesn't secure it with the other hand when he gets into traffic. That one was just a straight quarterback, running back exchange, being careless with the football, and now giving the Wolfpack a shot at midfield.
2nd down 6. Ball right at midfield. Blitz coming. Fajardo in traffic. Hassan Henderson, the intended receiver, he's thrown 4 picks that have all led to touchdowns tonight.
Well, they're trying to hit the slant. Cleishon Page is the corner out there, doing an excellent job in man-to-man coverage, playing from outside in, breaking up that pass and forcing a 3rd and 6. You see Fajardo see soft coverage. Right now, all 3 linebackers playing back, trying to change the play.
Play clock down to 2.
First charge timeout of the half. Nevada
takes a timeout. 37-29, Boise State. 37-29, a wild night in the Mountain West. Tuesday, 10 Eastern. Sports conversation unlike any other after a terrific start last week. Elite women in sports provide a new voice, all the trending topics. We need to talk. Tuesday nights, 10 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. 24-hour home of CBS Sports' first nationally televised sports talk show consisting of an all-female contributors and an all-star cast. I mean, we're talking Leslie Visser, Amy Trask, Tracy Wolfson, Allie LaForce, Dana Jacobson, Andrea Kramer, Lisa Leslie, to name a few. Cody Fajardo on 3rd down. In and out of the hands of Hassan Henderson. And the ball was on the mark.
Yeah, Henderson has to have that one. He's been great all night, making contested catches. The time is there. You see a skinny post inside, no coverage, hits him right there in the hands. Missed opportunity for the Wolfpack offense.
Not a lot of punts in this ball game.
Makes it fun for us.
It's just the second punt of the game. Shane Williams-Rhodes lets it roll into the end zone. It's a 49-yard kick. It comes back out to the 20-yard line. Sonic quarterback profile, and it's changing by the minute. A really nice night for Boise State's Grant Hedrick.
He's been efficient, and this is kind of what he does. When he's on, he's an accurate, efficient passer. 18 for 21, only 3 incompletions. He's done a really good job using his legs in the quarterback run game, scrambling when the play breaks down. This is the kind of game that he needed as a bounce-back game for that game he had last week against the Air Force Falcons.
Broncos at their own 20. If you've just joined us, boy, you missed a lot, but there's still plenty of clock. Hedrick, deep ball, sideline, and incomplete. Very good coverage by Charles Garrett.
Yeah, 3 tight ends. They try and max protect it to get one-on-one coverage, but Charles Garrett double move. There's contact right there, but the ball's not there in the air. Pins his receiver right there to the sideline, nowhere to throw it. That's how you draw it up right there for a cornerback.
2nd and 10. Hedrick. That's a hard-earned 4 yards. Dupree Roberts Jordan with a stop.
You see a lot of quarterback runs inside for Hedrick. He's only 6 foot, 198 pounds. He's not a Mississippi State Dak Prescott. So he takes a lot of abuse. 3rd and 6, spread formation.
Both teams very good on 3rd down in the first half.
You see a pressure, man-to-man look. Look for a wide receiver screen or a pick route.
On the out, Williams-Rhodes makes the catch, has the first down. Out to the 33.
Or an out by Williams-Rhodes. Good pass protection up front by his offensive line. You see Hedrick is able to sit there cleanly in the pocket, set his feet, plant, throw. And again, look at the accuracy in the ball placement right before Williams-Rhodes goes out of bounds.
Hedrick swallowed up Brock Hecking.
He's been quiet. You're going to see him on the bottom of your screen, number 53. One-on-one, isolation, spin move inside. Completely destroys the freshman out there, number 74, Archie Lewis, and gets his first impact play, sack of the game.
Reese Adiambo, the injured left tackle, not playing tonight. Lewis getting the start. Dallas Burrows with a catch to the 39-yard line. And it's going to bring up another 3rd down.
Yeah, positive 2nd down play right there after the sack. Getting your offense in a chance in the 3rd and manageable 3rd and 4. You mentioned it, a down and distance that they've done a really good job of so far tonight in this game.
Sellout crowd, as always, for Boise State and Nevada.
Ajayi out of the backfield.
3rd and 4. Hedrick flushed, has the first, and lies down with a big 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, they ran this earlier trying to get Ajayi into the flat out of the backfield, but this time number 9, Matthew Lyons, covers him. You see Hedrick looks, and then you see the escapability that he brings to the table.
Quick pop, Williams-Rhodes to midfield. A gain of 5.
Well, these quarterbacks, whether it's Fajardo or Hedrick, they're so tough to play against. You just don't know where they're going to be. You don't know where their spot is. And they do such a good job of being instinctual and evading that pressure and climbing the pocket and breaking containment. It's a challenge out there as a defensive player playing against guys who can move like they do.
Hedrick. Wide open. Great throw. Jake Rowe, the tight end. 20 yards. Another big chunk of real estate. Another first down.
Unbalanced set, max protect. Hedrick has time to throw, and Rowe, the freshman tight end, is able to hit the corner route for another big gainer.
Now at the Nevada 30. Rowe again. This time he's escorted out of bounds by Duran Workman.
Well, Hedrick, he just hasn't missed. Whether it's throwing the ball downfield, whether it's in the quick game, he's been protected fairly well tonight, but when he's able to throw with timing, when they're able to throw with rhythm, he puts the ball right there where it's supposed to be.
22 of 26, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns, and importantly, no interceptions. Ajayi bounces it outside. He's 20. He's 10. Ajayi to the corner. He's in. Touchdown. 26 yards.
Boy, what a run. This is brilliant.
Yards after contact. 26 of them. Jay Ajayi on his feet and to the end zone. 44-29 Boise State. (44-29) Jay Ajayi with a touchdown.
It's a great piece of running. This ball is supposed to go here. You're going to see a block here, but I want you to pay attention to the vision to see this cutback as he starts to the right. He can stay play side, but look at this vision. He sees the seal block from his guard and his tackle. He puts a buck job on Celeste Faremo, the 275-pound nose tackle, and then hits the edge, and it's showtime.
That one through the end zone. Nevada out to their 20. Adam Archuleta getting ready to tweet next weekend. Next Saturday, Super Social Saturday on CBS Sports. Follow CBS Sports on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to learn how you can participate.
Get ready for my one tweet a year that I do. Not really big on Twitter. I can't figure it out.
Well, let me know when you're going to tweet, so we'll build it up.
Makes me nervous.
44-29, Boise State on top. 10 plays, 80 yards, and some big third down conversions in that drive. Second and 10.
Well, you saw Nevada came out after halftime, Rich, and you asked me, what do you do to kind of settle down Cody Fajardo? And the answer was the quarterback run game. That's what he does well. That's what gives him confidence. But now you let Boise State go down the field. You're going to have to make some plays in the passing game.
Fajardo, pump fake, goes down the field, and it's through the arms, and a flag down right in midfield.
Well, double move, Hassan Henderson, one-on-one with Cleishon Page. Nice recovery by Page.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
And you see, because he doesn't turn around and play the ball, he makes contact right as the ball gets there, and that's where they get the pass interference. He doesn't play the ball, you see contact, interferes with the pass. He was in great position, but you just got to have that confidence to be able to turn your head, turn into the offensive player, play the ball. You might come down with an interception.
First and 10, off the interference. Don Jackson. Boise State has played the run quite well for everybody that's not named Fajardo.
And they have been all season. Tough running. And it was key for them to come in here and try and make Nevada one-dimensional and make them throw the ball in the air, because in this pistol offense, it's always centered around the running game, whether it's the running backs or it is Fajardo keeping the ball in the quarterback run. That opens up everything, including the play-action game, and they haven't been able to get that going, especially here in the second half.
Jackson straight ahead, and a gain of 2. This is going to bring a third down and a long 7, call it 8.
And you wonder right now if the air has kind of gone out of Nevada's sails, because they came out after halftime, they got the big fumble, they were able to go downfield and score, and then Boise State answers with great quarterback play, big explosive run by Jay Ajayi. And right now, not a lot of energy in this offensive drive.
Third down, 8. Boise State shows blitz. Fajardo, incomplete. And the Broncos hold. Nevada has to give it back to Boise State. Bo Martin with the pressure.
They've shown this look throughout the game. They come up, they show blitz, they get Nevada to check, and then they drop off 8 in coverage. Bo Martin, the pressure on Fajardo, no passing lanes downfield. And the Bronco defense comes up tough and giving their offense back the ball after a quick offensive series.
They give it back to a hot offense. Line drive kick from Alex Boyd. Williams Rhodes. Out to the 23-yard line. Last time Boise State touched it, they took it 80 yards.
It was a perfect drive that featured time for Hedrick to locate his receivers and deliver the ball with pinpoint accuracy. There was some big third down conversions, some where Hedrick uses his feet, again, finding his tight end down the field for another play, intermediate. And then Jay Ajayi caps it off with a physical run, breaking the tackle at the line of scrimmage and then showing that, yes, big running backs can have some speed as well. And up until that run, Rich, they've done a really good job of containing Jay Ajayi.
Now Ajayi, 6 feet, 216 pounds. Thunders out to the 27-yard line. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
This is that spot, you know, where they want to see if their running game and that offensive line, if they can grind it out, if they can speed this game up. It's up to Ajayi to try and close this out. I know they're in the third quarter, but right now, you've got to protect this lead.
Good play by Matthew Lyons. There are no seniors on this offensive line, and it is banged up. We talked about Archie Lewis getting the start at left tackle. I think people don't realize how young this Boise State team is. It's the 20th youngest team in the country.
And they've had to rebuild this year on both offensive and defensive lines. And that's going to take an adjustment, but you've seen when this offense is on, they don't seem to have a problem moving down the ball down the field regardless of who they play.
Third down 5. Hedrick, short, caught. Spurbeck has the first down. Well, the third down conversions were key on the 80-yard drive, and another one here keeps this drive going.
There's been very little pressure from this 4-man rush of the Nevada Wolfpack. Grant Hedrick takes his time in the pocket, and he finds Spurbeck, and he gets the chance to run all the way across the field on a shallow crosser. And again, you see where that ball placement is? Perfect position for Spurbeck to not break stride and pick up extra yards.
10 for 13 on third down tonight. On the road is Boise State. And Ajayi blown up in the backfield by Raheem Yates.
You've seen a couple times here tonight against the run where they've had some penetration. Raheem Yates inside, bursting upfield, beating the block, getting to Ajayi in the backfield. It's just on the passing plays. They haven't been able to win those one-on-one matchups and consistently put pressure on Hedrick and forcing him to make bad decisions.
Third quarter evaporates. Boise State on the road and on top, 44-29. In the Mountain West tonight, Boise State has used 4 interceptions to build a 44-29 lead on the road against Nevada. This is a rivalry game, but it's been lopsided. Boise State has won 13 of the last 14. With the ball at their own 41, second down and 16. Broncos with the ball and the lead. Hedrick caught from behind and run down. Good hustle by Ian Seau, the nephew of the late Junior Seau.
Just a hustle play. From the backside, chasing him down. Third and long now. Not the best down and distance, but we've watched both of these teams here tonight be very effective on both third and long and third and short. You see stacked receivers at the bottom look for a switch.
Blitz coming, it's deflected and picked off! It's Seau! It's a touchdown! Ian Seau. What a wild night in Reno tonight.
Well, Rich, 2 plays in a row. Ian Seau chasing down Hedrick from behind on the play before, and this time lines up on the left side of the defense. Speed rush on the edge, gets his hands up, tips the ball to himself. How's that for his own version of a pick six?
All night long, Grant Hedrick has been almost perfect.
And that's one of those, look, yeah, can he get the ball higher? Yes. That was an exceptional play by Ian Seau coming around the corner, having the awareness to put his hands up, tip the ball to himself. I'm not sure there's much you can do to blame Hedrick for that. Just a great play by a defensive player.
Well, he better catch his breath. He's got to go right back out there. 33 yards. And Boise State will get the football back. Rich Waltz, Adam Archuleta, Cassie Gallo, our entire CBS Sports Network crew here in Reno, biggest little city in the world. And a back and forth game that has been filled with big plays, especially by both defenses.
And remember, when we talked to Mike Sanford, the offensive coordinator, first thing he talked about was the tireless pursuit and the play of Nevada's defensive line.
Burrows a yard deep. Out to the 21. Let's go down to the sideline. Cassie Gallo.
Well, guys, a blank whiteboard like this is a rare sight down here. Normally they're covered with adjustments or plays that coaches draw up while players are resting on the bench. Well, defensive coordinator Scott Boone never uses one. He said for him on the sidelines, it's about getting his guys to play hard rather than X's and O's. He's been over here telling his guys, relax, they're not giving us anything we haven't seen in practice, and obviously that last turnover and injecting more life into the Wolfpack, guys.
Thank you, Cassie. And a smart hire in bringing Boone here. Here's a guy that at William & Mary at the FCS level was a coordinator of one of the top defenses in the country.
He's a bright guy, and last year they had a lot of problems defensively. Gave up a ton of yards, couldn't stop the run. Scott Boone comes in here, and a lot of it too is his philosophy and matching it with Brian Polian's and changing the culture. And you kind of use that, and it's kind of been a cliche, that word culture, but they want their guys to play hard. They want them to have fun. They want them to play with passion. They want them to be loose. And the tempo on this defense is set by their defensive line.
Bill Tierlink is the defensive line coach. His father, outstanding NFL defensive line coach. So,
and his philosophy, you know, coaching the Indianapolis Colts with Freeney and Mathis, and their whole entire goal is rush the passer first, play the run second. They want to be able to put heat on opposing quarterbacks.
Well, Boise State still has the lead. Nevada has some momentum. And we still have 14 minutes left of football, at least. Ajayi busts another one, and he's loose, and he's 40. Ajayi racing to the 30, to the 10, and out of bounds. My goodness. It just won't stop.
Same play that he scored the touchdown earlier. Power O, kick out. Starts one direction. It's supposed to go this direction, but he cuts it back. The Wolfpack having a hard time in pursuit right now with his cutback ability. Watch him as he cuts back one time against the grain, breaks the tackle, puts it on Charles Garrett, the corner, reverses field again.
This time Ajayi is caught and or rather it's Devin Demas, and there may be a face mask. Raheem Yates with the tackle, but you saw the ball carrier Demas spin around violently.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 26. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
You know, watch Yates again, getting penetration. You see right there on that face mask, boy, that's dangerous. That's an easy one.
Red Zone brought to you by Verizon. Boise State has had red zone issues, but not tonight. Keeping it and scoring is Ajayi. Direct snap, fake the handoff. And Boise State answers.
Well, Rich, if you want to be a feature back, you've got to be a closer. And when your offense needs you to close it out and put your will and wear out the defense, your number is called, you've got to step up, and that's exactly what Jay Ajayi has done here in the second half of the Broncos offense.
Jay Ajayi and Boise State, a lot of time left. 51-36. 51-36. Jay Ajayi has taken over here in the second half. Chick-fil-A fan cam. Some sights and sounds from tonight's sellout crowd, Mackey Stadium. Here in Reno, plenty of Boise State fans. This has always traditionally been a great road trip for fans from Boise to come down to Reno for the weekend. There have been just 2 punts in this football game. 13:22 left here in Reno. All right, let's go back to your keys.
Well, ball security was a key part for Boise State. They've done a good job of that. The last one, great play by Nevada's defense. They've held up pretty well on the outside by their receivers. 4 interceptions so far for that defense. And for Nevada, they've converted on 3rd downs, but the turnovers have been the big question. And they have failed to make the Boise State Bronco offense one-dimensional. Did a good job in the first half, but the second half has been all Jay Ajayi.
Fajardo, sideline pattern, caught there by Hassan Henderson. To your point, 101 yards in the second half for Ajayi.
Big play, explosive plays. And they've come at a time where just when you think Nevada has had some momentum, that maybe they're starting to get some new life, he has been the dagger right now for the Broncos on offense.
Slipping through the pressure, James Butler. He's to the 30. Butler cuts back to the 15-yard line. The freshman out of Bloomingdale, Illinois. 51 yards.
Well, how's that for an answer? Boy, James Butler gets a chance. The freshman running back. And look, there's a lot of time left in this game. 12 minutes, 40 seconds. Nevada's got to capitalize.
Fajardo on 1st and 10 from the Boise State 15. Fajardo keeps. Pushed out of bounds. He'll pick up 3.
See Don Jackson, this is just right up the gut. He does a nice job, nice cutback, reading his blocks inside. You see that? And James Butler just making it happen.
Second and 7. Fajardo. Gibson, touchdown. Nevada answers.
How's that for an answer?
This is nuts.
Now it's my turn.
The tempo that both offenses play with, has it worn the defenses down that much?
It can. It can. Both of these offenses can put tremendous pressure. Gibson matched up with the linebacker, Tyler Gray, who had that big pick 6 earlier in the game. Misses the tackle. And again, Nevada, don't count him out yet. Brian Polian's team has come to play.
Don't count anything out yet. There are 12 minutes left in this football game, and who knows the next twist or turn it might take. Boise State on top, Rich Schwartz, along with Adam Archuleta. This is a wild one, and it looks like the defenses are a little fatigued right now.
It does. Just when you thought maybe Boise State was going to run away with this game, you had 4 picks from Cody Fajardo. Ian Seau responds with a pick 6 of his own. Jay Ajayi is exploding in the second half, and then again, the Nevada Wolfpack going downfield and answering. The fact that this is still an 8-point ball game with about 12 minutes to go in this game is fascinating to me.
The outset of the telecast, we told you that this is a rivalry for a lot of reasons. Games between these two schools are usually for very high stakes, and a lot of them have wild, wild finishes. And this one is living up to the history. Dallas Burrows to the 23. Let's see if Boise State has an answer. And lately their answer's been Jay Ajayi.
Well, he was bottled up in that first half, but the second half, he came out and decided to take this game over with some explosive runs featuring cutback ability, a physical running style where he just dished it out. and has been the difference here in the second half for the Boise State Bronco football team, but you're going to have to keep it up. There's still 12 long minutes left in this football game. Number 27 is going to have to be the closer if the Broncos want to win.
Little flip, Jeremy McNichols into the secondary and caught by a toe after a pickup of 16 yards.
Oh, he's got a burst. The third time they've run that play, the first time for a 28-yard gain. The second time it was snuffed out. But you see the explosiveness that he brings to this offense on that little jet sweep look.
Under 12 minutes left. Hedrick out of the pocket, lost the ball, and Nevada has it. Unbelievable. Jonathan McNeil.
I can't tell if Raheem Yates got a hand on that or if Hedrick simply just lost control of the ball. You're going to see number 55 right there. And I can't tell if he got that left hand on there, but Hedrick trying to make something happen, gets caught up in traffic. Another swing of this ball game. You see he kind of runs into one of his offensive linemen. I think he just dropped it.
Nevada down 8. Fajardo's in trouble. Flushed to the sideline and out of bounds. It's a gain of 7. Turnovers tonight. Both coaches unhappy. Cassie Gallo talked about the axe. Brian Polian telling his team last year in the middle of a 4-8 season, just keep chopping wood. Believe in the process. A second down for Fajardo. Clean throw, Butler the catch. Very close to a first down.
One of the big improvements that Brian Polian thought that he had in this team this year as opposed to last year was their physical and mental toughness and their ability in the second half in ball games to be able to finish games and never count themselves out. Tonight's a big test to see if that comes true.
Third down, very short. Nick Rolovich, offensive coordinator. See what he dials up. Butler straight ahead. Looks like he has the first down. They've gone away from Don Jackson and James Butler, the freshman, getting some big carries here in the second half.
A lot of confidence to put the freshman in there when the game's on the line. And Don Jackson, he's a stellar running back, but he has just been ineffective so far in this game against that Boise State defense. And on that last drive, it was the James Butler run up the middle that gave Nevada a little bit of life on offense and led to their last touchdown.
This has been a wild, crazy day in college football. Coming to a close on the West Coast. Utah has gone out in front of UCLA with seconds left in that game. Arizona State stunned USC.
And after Oregon went down, I put UCLA as my team to win the Pac-12, and then look what happens. Utah, it seems, every single season stuns somebody in the Pac-12.
Here in the Mountain West, Boise State and Nevada have been slugging it out all night. Second down. Henderson the catch. That's a first down.
How about Hassan Henderson and the night that he's had tonight, coming back from that scary-looking neck injury earlier in the game. Fajardo, timing, sets his foot, hits Henderson just as he comes out of his break, and Cleishon Page cannot close the distance.
4 trips, 4 touchdowns inside the red zone for Nevada. 1st and 10. Fajardo setting, throwing, corner. Henderson a jump ball. And it's over everyone's head. He's tall, but not that tall.
I think it's pretty obvious to everybody that that ball needs to come down a little bit. But, boy, I love the way that Henderson has come out tonight and competed and shows that he can be a go-to wide receiver for Fajardo in this offense.
Fajardo steps up, throws, end zone, incomplete. Jared Gibson is tight end, the intended receiver. And now all of a sudden, Adam, you're looking at 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, two plays on 1st and 2nd down that got you nothing. This was a scary pass. I thought when he threw this that something bad was going to happen. Good coverage by Page. Nowhere to throw the ball, and I think Fajardo gets away with one. That's one that you see that ball intercepted very often when quarterbacks make that choice.
3rd and 10 in the red zone for the Boise State 16.
Right now the slot's open.
Fajardo dropped, lost the ball, but I think he got it back. Kamule Correa with the hit.
Inside, he beats, watch this. He beats the block of the left guard, Joey Engelmeyer. That's a great individual one-on-one play by Correa on a big 3rd down to get in there, get the sack, force the fumble. Fajardo fortunately falls on it.
Brent Zuzo, whose longest this year is from 40, this from 45. And he got it. Not by much, but he got it. And so it goes down to a 5-point game with 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left in a wild football game in the Mountain West. Boise State on top of Nevada in Reno. Rich Waltz, Adam Archuleta, Cassie Gallo. Now this has been a crazy weekend of college football. The two teams who have maybe the biggest wins this weekend, opponents for these two teams, and they were tight games. Ole Miss, of course, took down Alabama today. Boise State, a 1-point game into the 4th against Ole Miss in Georgia. And of course, you've got Nevada, who went down to Tucson and lost by a touchdown to an Arizona team that's now 5-0. They took down Oregon this week. That's how good these two teams are. And of course, they're playing certainly in a rivalry game on a big night for Brian Harsin and Brian Polian. And it's Mackey Stadium. Let's go RVing. You want some road trip facts? Here we go. We're in Reno. This is the 300th game in stadium history. And it's fitting that it's a game like this because these two teams have played some classic games in 4 different conferences on this field. And they're at it here in the Mountain West. With a lot of football left. Ajayi. Nice pickup. 10 yards on the carry. And it's a 1st down.
It's exactly what you want on 1st down. If you're Mike Sanford and the Boise State offense, it's got to be the Jay Ajayi show. He's got to be able to take over. It looks like it's going to be 2nd and 1.
Yeah, my bad on the spot. I had one official out at the 36, and they marked it at the 34. Ajayi stumbles, and he's short of the 35. So so it's third down.
The penetration again. It's been the good thing that this defensive line has been able to do, penetration in the run game. Now a crucial third and short. Ajayi out of the backfield has been big. And watch for Grant Hedrick on the quarterback keep. I'd give it to big number 27.
Fumble! It's loose! Hedrick got it back, but he's well shy of the first down. And Nevada's defense holds.
Boy, that's incredible. Quarterback center exchange. It looked like the snap was there, and it looked like Hedrick just mishandled it. You see a great view of it right there. The ball is right there. Hedrick pulls out too early. Very fortunate to be able to jump on that ball, but look, you got a first down, 9-yard pickup, second and short, third and short. Now you're punting to a team that has a lot of momentum.
Richie Turner with the fair catch at the 28-yard line. 51-46. 6 minutes left.
And they were so good in the first half, ball security, and it was clear and evident that Boise State won that battle. But here in the second half, some turnovers and some ball handling issues, whether it's the quarterback running back exchange, whether it's the center quarterback exchange. You saw Hedrick lose a fumble earlier by running into his offensive lineman, and then the pick six, the tip pass by Ian Sayal on the Wolfpack defense. So a lot of strange ball handling issues creeping up here in the second half for the Boise State offense.
And you saw the 4 turnovers on Fajardo's line. Those all led to touchdowns for Boise State. Fajardo, the big man, Hassan Henderson. And that's to the 40-yard line. That is a first down.
Well, Dante Dion, their standout man-to-man corner, isn't on the field. So he must have left the game due to injury, and that's why you're seeing Cleishon Page on Hassan Henderson.
Quick screen, Turner to the 48, gain of 8. Second and 2.
And Rich, the defense has been banged up, and they've got playmakers in the secondary, but they haven't been able to put all their starters on the field for any of their ball games here in the first part of the season. And here, when you got a guy like Henderson who's hot and is the go-to guy, you need a shutdown corner to put on him and try and force the ball to go to other receivers.
Big hit. Tanner Vallejo lays it on Don Jackson.
A lot of mileage out of this blitz by Marcel Yates. A lot of positive things. Vallejo coming off the edge unblocked, putting a lick on Don Jackson. You're going to watch him come off of the left side of your screen, number 20. Flash inside and just stick Jackson right in the side of the ribs.
A Bronco defender is down. Next Friday, college football, CBS Sports Network, Fresno State at UNLV. We will be there.
We will.
That's at 10 Eastern, followed by Inside College Football. And on Saturday, quadruple header. Look at this, Rice and Army, VMI Navy. Geico presents Houston at Memphis. And then back into the Mountain West, Colorado State is right here in Reno. That's a very good Colorado State team who's taken down 2 big-time opponents, Colorado and BC, both going down at the hands of Jim McElwain and the Rams.
Yeah, Jim McElwain has built a squad for himself there. And don't forget the bowl win that they had last year against Washington State. You like offense, Rich? You an offensive guy?
Well, I know you're a defensive guy.
I don't mind calling this, though. This is exciting.
Well, all those yards, and right now Nevada just needs 3 because it's third down and 3 from their own 47. Fajardo, quick throw, gets in the 40. The drive is alive. Nevada down 5 with the ball.
Boy, I love the play call. You motion in Richie Turner. You're going to fake the zone read, get the linebackers to step up and try and tackle Don Jackson. And then you're going to find your tight end coming out from the other side of the line of scrimmage behind the offensive lineman in a flat for a key first down.
At the 40. Fajardo. Turner. Had it, lost it. 2nd and 10.
Well, here's the last play. They're going to fake the zone read right here. And then Gibson, the tight end, is going to come out from behind the line of scrimmage. Everybody comes up. They think Fajardo is going to keep the ball. Gibson slips out. Drop coverage by Corey Bell. First down, Wolfpack.
2nd and 10. Boise State shows blitz.
And Nevada hasn't had an answer for this blitz, where they blitz Vallejo and their other linebacker, Joey Martinano, off of that left side.
Here it comes. Fajardo steps up. Henderson, incomplete. Outstanding coverage by Boise State. Darian Thompson.
See, Henderson is the top receiver up here. Man-to-man coverage again. Cleashon Page. Boy, great job by Page. Right on there on the hip. Perfect footwork. Sticks the left arm in there. Breaks up the pass. Forces the 3rd and 10. It's a way to step up outside by Cleashon Page on a big wide receiver, Hassan Henderson.
Shotgun blitz coming again. Fajardo. Sideline. Too deep and incomplete. They picked on Page twice, and twice he comes through.
And this time there's pressure. Inside, Fajardo not able to step up the way he would like. Overthrows that pass. And a nice sequence right there for the Broncos defensively. Napoleon says we got to punt. Let our defense get on the field. Hopefully we get some good field position to get the ball back.
Is it a fake? It is. It's a fake. It's caught by a lineman. Flags are down. I don't think this is a legal play.
Wow.
All kinds of things went wrong here.
Great awareness by the Broncos' punt-safe defense.
Illegal touching by the offense. Number 56. It's an ineligible number. That's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay 4th down.
Well, at the very least, Nevada can now punt it.
They get a little bit of breathing room, but excellent awareness. I believe, I couldn't quite get a number on it, but I believe it was number 8, the defensive end, Kamale Correa, who came up there and rushed the punter.
Alex Boy is the punter.
Well, they put in Braden Sanchez. So the antennas had to come up. Braden Sanchez is a wide receiver. They put him back there in that punt formation.
This is Boy who punts it, and it lands and rolls into the end zone. A break for Boise State. 3:45 left in this one. 51-46 Broncos.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. By Icy Hot Smart Relief TENS Therapy. And by Verizon. Get NFL Mobile included with the More Everything plan, exclusively from Verizon.
Crazy ride in Reno tonight in the Mountain West Conference. Sellout crowd, 3rd largest crowd on the 300th game, Mackey Stadium history. Over 32,000 here. Boise State with the lead and the ball. But nothing is easy right now for the Broncos offense. Ajayi busts across the 25, 6-yard pickup. Brian Lane Jr. with a stop. You notice at the top of your screen, Nevada used a timeout earlier this half. They've got just 2 left.
Four-minute offense right now for the Broncos. Jay Ajayi is going to be the guy to get the ball here. And it's up for the Wolfpack to have to step up. You've got to find a way to get to the backfield.
Ajayi smothered.
That sets up an interesting 3rd down right here. And I think if you're Brian Boley, you got to think about it. You burn a timeout. Try and stop the Broncos and save some time off of the clock.
Well, with only 2, that's a even bigger gamble. Even if you're in Reno on a Saturday night. 3rd and 4. Ajayi, a direct snap. And he'll hand it off. Davis is stopped. And the Nevada defense will get the ball back. Now Nevada burns a timeout.
Second charge, timeout, Nevada.
Boy,
30-second timeout.
Not a big fan, Rich, of that play call whatsoever. I mean, Evan Favors, great play by the corner to stick right there, but you have Jay Ajayi, your workhorse, up inside, and you're running a jet sweep into the boundary towards the sideline behind the line of scrimmage when you have to pick up a 1st down. I mean, sometimes you think you just try and get a little bit too cute. Now you got to power that thing in there and let your workhorse go out there and get something done.
3rd downs were easy for both teams in the first half. Not so in the second half.
They stepped up. Both teams have found a way to make plays. But, boy, you got to question the intention of that play call there for the Broncos.
Sean Wales kick, low liner, Richie Turner on the return. Turner through the first wave. And then blistered at the 47-yard line. Flag goes down. Late flag. Officials confer. It's a crucial call with 2 minutes left. Nevada to get the ball. If it's against Boise State, the penalty will move it into Boise State territory.
Personal foul, face mask, kicking team, 15-yard penalty, the end of the run, 1st down.
And that's exactly what's happened.
Well, the defense stepped up and did their part. Gave their offense the ball, which was supposed to be around the 50-yard line. Now, because of the penalty, Cody Fajardo, the 4-year starter, gets a chance to manufacture a game-winning drive.
There's the face mask. It was late. Fajardo, 1st and 10. Can the Bronco defense stiffen? Fajardo over the top. Gibson. Boy, is he popped right at the 35-yard line. Clock runs. Nevada has just 1 timeout. They are down 5.
You've got great field position. You've got to save the timeout. You've got a chance to move the ball.
Fajardo is caught and sacked from behind. Bo Martin, the senior. And Nevada takes its final timeout.
Boy, we've
3rd
seen.
and final charge timeout. Nevada, 30-second timeout.
Both teams, both defense have players to step up and have great individual efforts in making big plays. And that was a huge sack for Bo Martin to force a 3rd and 8 which is a very difficult down and distance.
In this rivalry, Boise State has won 13 of the last 14. That one win for Nevada, 2010, November. Boise State missed a pair of field goals. Kyle Brotzman from 26 and 29, and then Anthony Martinez from 34. And the BCS dreams of Boise State were crushed, 34-31. Here tonight, on the left, you've got Brian Polian in his second year. On the right, Brian Harsin in his first year. They match up. This has been an effort. Nevada with the ball, down 5, without a timeout, 3rd and 8. Fajardo, deep, middle, deflected, incomplete. Obviously a 4-down situation. 4th down and 8.
Well, that was almost an interception right there. Richie Turner doing his best job to break up that pass with Vallejo in coverage, and now it's about Fajardo. He's got to make a play. Watch out for Hassan Henderson at the top of the screen. He's been the go-to target. Cleashon Plage playing way off in coverage.
Fajardo, time, middle, incomplete. Boise State gets it back. And the Broncos have held. And they can run out the clock if they can hold on to the football. And the 3rd largest crowd in Mackey Stadium history is starting to go home.
Well, Tanner Vallejo again, the linebacker who's playing that nickel spot. 2 plays in a row in coverage down the field, being a factor in being able to break up those passes. And when they had to do it, this Bronco defense, they've had their struggles here throughout a lot of parts of this ball game, but step up. Great individual efforts by Bo Martin and Tanner Vallejo to get the ball back to the offense in victory formation.
Hedrick takes a knee. There's so many twists and turns in this one. Coming up inside college football, we're going live to New York. All of the craziness that was on an incredible day in college football, from the SEC to the Pac-12 to the Big 12 to the Mountain West.
Rich, this might be one of the best days of college football I think I've ever seen. I can't really go back into my mental Rolodex, but there couldn't have been too many better Saturdays or Thursdays than we've witnessed here this week.
Coming up on Inside College Football, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Christian Fourier's 5. Right now, it's euphoria for Boise State.
A much-needed win coming up here on the road after losing to Air Force. This was a tough ball game. Both teams going back and forth. But at the end of the day, the Boise State Broncos making one more play than the Nevada Wolfpack.
In their glory years, one of the trademarks for Boise State, winning on the road and doing it in wild fashion. And they do it that way here tonight in Reno. And after a tough week at Air Force, Grant Hedrick and the Bronco offense bounce back. So it's 14 of the last 15 in this matchup. Let's go down to Cassie Gallo. Cassie.
Coach, congratulations. Wild night, but your defense came to play. How were they able to settle down and get the job done?
Yeah, well, first of all, credit to Nevada. What a great game tonight. Those guys fought extremely hard. We thought they would. Very proud of our guys and our defense in particular. They came in here against a good offense. We were able to slow them down just enough. We just hurt ourselves with turnovers and continue to do that. So we've got to find a way to fix that. It's going to come back to hurt us.
And you told us this week this team was still looking for direction. What did your offense show you?
We can score points. still showed me that, we still don't take care of the ball well enough yet. So we still have a lot of things to our standards. We won the game. I'm really happy about it, the way our guys fought, but our standards haven't even kind of come close of how we want to operate on a game-to-game basis.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Brian Harsin in his first year, the former Boise State quarterback, and the Broncos are now 4-2 and 2-1 in the Mountain West Conference.
Well, and he's right. The turnovers is what allowed Nevada to climb back in this game, and it was ball handling issues that were first and foremost something that they have to clean up if they have designs on becoming the Mountain West champions.
On a crazy night and a crazy day in college football, Boise State takes down Nevada. For Adam Archuleta, Cassie Gallo, our entire crew, I'm Rich Waltz. The Broncos win it. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We're headed to New York. Inside College Football presented by Dodge. Brent Stover, Christian Fourier. 51-46 is the final from Reno. Take it, Brent.